Hey everybody, Chris Coriel here with Christopher J. Apparel, coming at you with Pivotal Moments, Episode 3, being that it's the 25th anniversary of eBay this month, September. I thought it'd be apropos to go into how that was founded, what their pivotal moment was, and talk about the tech giant that defined some of the internet e-commerce platforms that we know and use today. It's one of the early ones. Amazon started in '94, but eBay 1 year later was launched, and just 6 months after its launch, or about 8 months, somewhere early '96, it was already had done $1 million in transactions, $1 million in revenue in transactions. So yeah, it was definitely onto something there. So the way it went down is Labor Day weekend, Pierre Omidyar, instead of going to the beach like everybody else, decided to whip up some code to create an auction site, and it was called Auction Web. And he listed his broken laser printer for $1. And a couple weeks later, after a week of sitting idle, people started to notice. They bid it up to $14.83, and that ended up being the highest bidder. So he sold his laser printer for 14 times his list price, and saw that he was onto something. So after that, about 8 months later, next year, it was already doing over $1 million in revenue, and by '97 had done over 2 million transactions. So pretty quickly, with no marketing, no investment, no VC capital, this thing just took off. So it was in the early days, obviously, and e-commerce sites weren't very popular. Even Amazon was just selling books back then. So yeah, eBay took off, and people could list their stuff and get rid of it just like you would in the paper. But now you're online. So one of the things that separated eBay from all the other, or any of the other sites, was the ability to write reviews of the sellers and buyers. So it kind of kept people honest. So it's all happened pretty quick for eBay. '97 they had over 2 million transactions, and '98, just a few years, not even a few years, I guess 2 years and a few months after their founding, they hired Meg Whitman, and they were doing $4.5 million with about 30 employees. So Meg was the one who brought them public, who grew eBay over the next decade into the e-commerce powerhouse that it is today. And yeah, they went public in '98 for $18 and rose to $53 that same day, making Pierre an instant billionaire. So this was back in '98. So yeah, it was one of the early internet billionaires, and it all started from just a project that he did over a weekend. Pretty amazing. So over the next decade, as we know, they grew and built it into the marketplace, and then coined some of the terms that we see today, like buy it now. Some of the other ones that even Amazon stole from them, I guess. Maybe stole is not the right word, but borrowed. And then back in 2002 is when they bought PayPal, which was actually seemed to make a lot of sense. They probably should have went for that earlier, would have saved them some money. But PayPal and eBay make a great combination, especially back then. Doing internet payments wasn't a big thing. Putting your credit card in over the internet was kind of scary. So when PayPal came out, it made things a lot easier, and kind of had PayPal act as the middleman or the escrow account for your payment. As we know today, PayPal 5 years ago was pushed away or separated from eBay, so now they're two separate companies again, but they were, eBay did own them for a long time. Fun fact, they actually owned Craigslist, or part of Craigslist, for some amount of time, and they recently broke that off as well. I guess there was some litigation between the two. Didn't get into the details of that, but yeah, they wanted that whole platform as well. So they wanted to build out their offerings through Craigslist, and then they bought Skype. So that was one that never made sense to me. That was a kind of a head scratcher. Why would they own Skype? They quickly ditched that, and I think they lost some money on that transaction. Another interesting fact: as of September 11th, 2020, Amazon was worth $1.561 trillion market cap, and on the same day, eBay's worth $36 billion. If you take the difference of those two, it's basically just a rounding error. 1.561 trillion minus 36 billion is about 1.52 trillion. So Amazon is way ahead in that game in the e-commerce platform business. But eBay's still hanging in there. 36 billion is nothing to sneeze at. And they have a lot of cash and still doing well. But I think they need to pivot and do some other things. I think creating a standard marketplace without the auction part would be interesting. I think it's a little bit complicated and convoluted that you got to list stuff and then you could do the buy it now, but you still have the auction part, and it's not as easy as just creating a store, listing your stuff, and just having people buy it. But it's still valuable. It still gets a lot of attention, a lot of page views, so why not keep it going? So that's it. This one was pretty straightforward. Pierre built something over a weekend. It got some attention pretty quick, and he kept it going. So it didn't take long for him. And he actually, I think his first hire was in '96, about 4 months after he started. And like I said, no marketing, no VC money, no seed money, no family money. Just boom, put it online, and it took off. He had, here's a fun fact I read somewhere in an article a while ago. He had so many checks because he didn't have an official business account. He had so many checks just piling up. That's how the first hire he had was to handle processing the checks. That's a great problem to have. I wish we all could have that problem, especially during COVID. So, all right, that's it. Episode 3, eBay, 25-year anniversary. Subscribe, like, comment, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.